24 hours, you divide it into 3, you have how many hours? Simple math, 8 hours. Working for 8 hours in a day and having to be paid per hour. Tunataka hiyo ama hatutaki? I think that's a realistic goal. He's also targeting towards having an economy that is, the tax payment is accommodative. Instead of having
while on it, Hesh, I'd like to introduce the people that are in your compound today. Tunaweza kwa tumeokota wase pale Kibera tunaita comrades. So, ndio ujue sisi ni wase wa real. Sisi hatuchachishi. I'm gonna call the president here. Ukuje introduce your team by just standing. That way, the fifth can know the people he's dealing with.
Wapinduru za KU awo. KU awo. The only university, the number one university in the whole of Kenya. You know, ukisikia Kenyatta University, kuna Kenya hapo ndani. It is number one in Kenya. Stand up, Kenyatta University! Hey! Next time, if you allow us, we are going to come with a whole lorry of student leaders. These are the student leaders from Kenyatta University. Your Excellency, we are really grateful for this opportunity, for allowing us as Kenyatta University to be part of this journey. And we are really grateful. Thank you, thank you. MC, allow me to mention one thing, that comrades power! Comrades power! You cannot be a leader and you're not a good student of history. I want us to look at the economy of Kenya. We are at an economic crisis. When you look at the GDP increase, last time, in the year 2020, it was actually negative 0.5%. That is the current leadership we are in. And when we look at the history of His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, when he got into power, we see he took the GDP from 2% to 8%. So he's the only person we can trust from a GP of negative 0.5% to take us back to where Kenya belongs. Kazi, bila wizi. So I want us, comrades, to look at that we are in a situation as Kenya. We are in a financial crisis. We are in an economic crisis. We need someone who can take us from this position to the position where we can prosper as Kenya, as Kenya. Sasa unajua nimezoea kusema is Kenyatta University. Sasa nikisema Kenya nasikia Kenyatta University. So, comrades, let's open our eyes. The time for kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee is over. It is now time that vijana wanaingia kwa serikali. Vijana are part of this economic empowerment, part of this economic journey. And that is the journey that His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka is welcoming us. He has showed us, he has included us into this journey. And lastly, Bwana Peter Ngata, I am also a student leader in Kenyatta University. I am also from Makueni. So hata mimi unaweza ni fix hapo Young Democrats. Ama siwezi toshea? Pia mtu anikolita na tutaendelea kufanya kazi pamoja. Thank you very much.
Makofi ya Solomon. Yeah, so to the ones I'm gonna be inviting, please let's make it short. We are about to go live on air, and we'd like Hesha kuje hapa so that he responds to our questions before we present our agenda. So I'll introduce President University of Nairobi. Waku, UN mko wapi? Hatuwasikii. Hatuwasikii.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, senior comrades, junior comrades, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Comrades, power! Comrades, power! I want to take this opportunity. I think the team from the University of Nairobi gave us a very good presentation. And my big takeout from that presentation, Your Excellency, was the big question, in whose hands are we safe? I think as the youth, we should sit down, take a step back, and think for once, free from the influence of artificial power, free from the influence of promises, free from the influence of money. We have candidates vying for the presidential position next year. And one thing that stands out with my leadership and my character is I'm a man who is not afraid to say the truth. When you look at the front runners, they're riddled with corruption cases, scandals, and controversies. If I look at that ballot, there's only one man who is of true character, a man who's survived about 3 decades plus without any controversies, a man who does not have any ego, a humble man. So it is up to us now, and I'd like to congratulate you, sir, for this well put together event. And I also want to pose a challenge to the Wiper team. Nationwide, Wiper is known as a Kamba party, but as we sit here, this is a nationwide quorum of youth. I really want to challenge you to go nationwide and recruit as many youth. I also want to challenge you to tap into this gold mine. The university is the bedrock of all politics. You've been Viva! Comrade Ria! You are a very proud and distinguished alumni of the University of Nairobi. Senior comrade. So I'm not talking stuff you do not know. You have a very deep pool of talent here, which you can exploit to further your ambitions. And we've been promised a lot by different leaders. I hope the delivery from your team is for sure this time. I also have to say, a leader is only as strong as his team. I am only as strong as my team, which is very well represented here. I'd like to start by introducing the different campus teams. So it is a privilege, and this is a big ask to your team also, to be inclusive, gender sensitive, and also deal with people with disabilities in a manner that is unprecedented in this country. So without much ado, I'd like to introduce the governor from Upper Kabete campus, Charlotte Wairimo, followed by the governor for Lower Kabete campus, Francina Dhiambo, Governor Kenya National, Elvis Kipkemoi, Governor from Kenya Science, we have the Secretary General, Governor from Kikuyu campus, Governor from Chiromo campus, Governor from Kai campus. The team from main campus, led by the sports welfare rep. That is the team we have here. So as I conclude, Your Excellency, our eyes are on you. You stand out as the most legitimate name on that ballot. I know you're in discussions with other players, but you have to know the numbers and the strength that you have. So it is not a question of if you will be on the ballot. We want to see you on the ballot, and our eyes are on you. Ukilegeza, we will yeah.
Tutalegea pia.
Ukilegeza tunalegeza. So thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
you can come here.
Yeah, allow us to break the program so that we are officially welcomed to this home ground. Simame karibisheni Mhesh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Comrades, power. Power. Comrades, ria. Comrades, vugu vugu. Comrades.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Comrades, power. Comrades, tialala. Ni aje sasa? Mkonoma ama vipi? Ni kubaya. Lakini huko ni sawa. Karibuni sana kwa this place. Command center kwa kazi muhimu ya kuokoa nchi hii. Mimi nilikuwa student leader University of Nairobi. But I was leading from St. Andrew's Church. I used to organize also University Sunday worship. And I used to make sure that people have food at the CCU Central Catering Unit. Mimi siku hizi, and I used to live in hall 6. Room 210. Sasa, once in a while we would also go cockroaching. Lakini zamani zile. I want to welcome you to this command center. There's a team here doing a fantastic job. I don't need to recognize them. We'll recognize them after the event. Like we have the executive director of WIPA and others here. We have Senator Enoch Wambua representing the political class. I think they will beat me after this, because who would have wanted to miss this occasion of young student leaders, the future of this country? Do you recognize the strongest sense of identity is not your ethnicity, but your nation? I repeat, the strongest source of identity for you is not your ethnicity, your tribal grouping, but your nation. So when Kipchoge runs the mile and says you can expand limit ya mwananchi or human capability, it doesn't come out as a Kalonzo, it comes as a Kenyan. In fact, the world believes it is complete waste of time, money, and energy to run after Kenyans. The strongest source of identity is not ethnicity, but your nation. Imagine how beautiful this country would look if in the years ahead, all of you are looked at as Kenyans. And so I want to thank that young lady with a passion for mental health. If Senator Sylvia Kasanga, literally one of you, a qualified architect, a young Senate, she drove through the Senate the bill on mental health and party-sponsored bill. And so I'm happy that some of you are passionate about this. Because in these days of COVID, Kenyans have suffered depression. Families do not know how to face the next day. Parents cannot afford to take their kids to school. And this is why we are saying, under One Kenya Alliance, when I say one nation, please reply, one people. One nation.
One people.
One nation.
One people.
When we say that under Oka government, which I hope I'll be able to lead, please pray for me. We will make sure that your parents all clearly are everywhere, from Vanga in the coast region to Turkana, from Lamu to Kisumu, yes, even to Megigo Island, Megingo, Nikwetu. We will be able to be proud Kenyans where they will not have to struggle to look for their school fees for their kids. And these days of COVID, you open on Monday, you close the next Monday, open for term 2 the following Monday, and on every opening day, you're supposed to pay the school fees for the term. Where are parents getting this money? We want to lift the burden from them. And that we will make sure there's free secondary education. We have made it very clear. We have also said we will make sure that we are a working nation. Kenyans do not want to go to the days of handout politics, handout economics. Handout economics, just imagine as academic giants in the making. Some of you already are. And listening to the president of University of Nairobi, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. I can see this potential. Viva. Hey, I can see. I'm actually very proud. As a parent as well. Because I have young men like you and a girl like you actually studying for a PhD. Little girl, our last born. She wishes, I'm sure she's here. All right. So you guys, the future, grab hold of it. You know, it is fashionable to work everywhere. A poll was conducted which indicated that over 38% of young Kenyans want to go and work abroad. And mainly they asked where? They want to work in the United States of America. They think there's greater freedom out there. We want to bring greater freedom. Constitution 2010 gives Kenyans freedom of expression, freedom of worship, freedom not to sleep hungry, freedom to educate your kid, and freedom to enjoy the God-given rights. I want to refer you to that document that we worked so hard for. My party secretary general, the then Mutula Kalonzo, Senior, gave this country that constitution. When others failed, I went to President Kibaka and said, I'll give you Mutula Senior Council. And he delivered. Today, if there's no document, if there's a document ever to bequeath to you and to the future generations, it's Constitution 2010. Never mind we are trying to amend it, build bridges in between, improve on it. But please check under the civil rights. And you see that every Kenyan has a right not to sleep hungry, to have adequate shelter, respectable shelter. These are things, these are values that we are going to ensure are in place. I don't know how much time I have on this window because I want us to continue. I want to listen more to young, brilliant minds on how to make this country better. But believe you me, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, and Chairman University of Nairobi, I'm really encouraged by those remarks. Kumbe mnachukua wakati na kuangalia kila mmoja wetu, who can deliver, in whose hands can this country truly be safe. And without that prejudice. Yani hiyo maneno ya kuongaongwa na mapesa. And somebody tested. And I'm happy that you realize that when Mzee Kibaki and us took over, the economy was at 0.5%. And we grew it nearly to double digit. It is our intention to grow it double digit. And one way of doing it is, imagine all of you students. You are worried about higher education laws board. Nilimaliza kulipa yangu. I don't want my kids and all of you guys to go that way. Ati ukienda holiday nyumbani unafuatwa na askari hujalipa loan. We will make it a grant. And not only a grant. If we exploit enough resources, these hydrocarbons, ingawaji under the global summit going on now in Glasgow, the world is thinking environment. Even if we were to rule out hydrocarbons, we have so much mineral wealth in this country, copper and others. We will use that to give free university education going forward. This is doable. This is actually doable. And so that again, you don't have to cook in your rooms. Hall 10 looks terrible. When was it last painted? I drove on Mweona hiyo hall. Inakaa vipi? We want to make education, kusoma university kuwe ni quality life. And one way you'll be even to maybe even wakishinda, you can even paint your own room and things. You know how? Do you know how? When President Kibaki and us decided to bring in the 4.2 billion fiber optic cable through the Indian Ocean, zinitoka Dubai na kwingineko, there are 3 of them. The idea that was an investment by the Kenyan taxpayer to this economy. But the big corporates have now taken it upon themselves. I tell Safaricom, give university students free bundle because this was freely given. The Kenyan government invested. And you know what you'll be doing what you'll be doing? When America is asleep in Chicago, you are awake in Nairobi. You can work from your bedroom and make a decent 200, 300 shillings per day. And you therefore will not even require that university loan. We're also suggesting, and seriously so, that when you work the three shifts, 8 hours, you don't get, some will be paid daily, but others will be paid weekly. Who in the world wrote, thou shalt only get your salary at the end of the month? If you increase the velocity of money, you know about velocity, yeah? Yeah, I was never a physicist, but I know velocity is something who's increase the velocity of money in the economy by paying people weekly, paying people 2 weekly, so that in fact you don't have to wait for the end of the month. Now that velocity of money will spur economic growth. We must think out of the box. When I say to fellow Kenyans, and we have the experience working for peace in the region, in South Sudan, in the DRC. In fact, in the DRC, I can tell you this because you are leaders. I had literally to knock heads. President Tshisekedi, President Kabila, love your nation. They trusted me with signing, witnessing their coalition agreement. The DRC president today is the chairperson of the African Union. Right? Surely we can do that in the DRC. And we've been working with the Somalis. I even said my community there is called Digli Mirifli because they are Wees, they are Darots. And now look at what is happening in Ethiopia. We need to be ready as Kenyans. If things don't work out, prepare to receive more than 5 million refugees. This is a thing we can't do. If you have failed leadership in Africa, the result is tragedy for the nationals. I'm telling you, therefore, young Kenyans, take a hold of your future and be very tough about it. Be very bold about it. And actually tell political leaders, call their bluff, call them out. Corruption has brought this country to its knees. Do you know, as we sit here, the hole that corruption has dug in this country is almost unfathomable. And so we have, for you, call out these names. Call them out. It's written all over the place. And so we are determined. We are determined to work with you. Consider you're already at home. I want to welcome all of you to my party's delegates congress on the 25th of this month. We're going to be, hopefully I'll be seeking my party's ticket, because right now I'm not a candidate. We're just jumping up and down. But the moment I get that ticket, man, join me as we cross the wind and the length and the breadth and the wind of this country to tell Kenyans, we can't afford to make a mistake. We know each other. And we'll be able to tell Kenyans who other people are, who the competitors are. Not because we hate them, but because we love this country more. And we must do this. So please, I want you to be very bold and very strategic. Bold, strategic, optimistic, because if you are not, the fellows like us will mess up your future. So, muko tayari? Ikisema Wiper nipe kazi bila wizi. Wiper. Yeah, kazi, because we must look, that's why we talk about 24-hour economy, kazi. Kazi. Lakini, bila wizi. Parastatos are sunk. Public property. Yani people steal with a sense of abandon. And they use that money to come and bribe you. Kenyans, we need prayers. They sunk them. So we're not here to say, in fact, I will not be talking about corruption. I'll be saying to Kenyans, give me the leadership. And you will see. The corrupt fellows from day one will know it's game up. And so this is it. Because the monies that I've stolen is the monies we shall use to educate our young Kenyans. Remember once I was Minister for Education, actually for 3.5 years. Yeah, 3.5 years. I served, man, if in terms of experience. I was a Deputy Speaker, and before Deputy Speaker of Parliament, I went in there without a wife in 1985. Yeah, I'm telling you. So don't be afraid if you don't have a wife or something, you have leadership qualities, go for it. Mimi mwenyewe nilienda. Nilioa nikiwa bunge. So vijana unaona kina Ken, kina Kevin wamezaliwa na baba ako bunge. Member of Parliament, 85, 86, became an assistant minister for about 2-3 years. In 88, ingawaji mlolongo was abused, but the mlolongo we had was one of the longest in 1988. Earning me a ticket to become the organizing secretary of chama ya baba na mama. I was actually elected organizing secretary the same day with baba yake Musalia Mudavadi. So I was young and energetic. I was not afraid of taking the plunge. So I've seen quality here. Musingoje. If God speaks to you and tells you, I have a vision for you, and I got my vision, by the way, when I was a second-year student at the University of Nairobi. I knew I was going to do this. Yeah, so there's a way God communicates with us. And of course, became Deputy Speaker, then Minister for Foreign Affairs, then Minister for Education, Minister for Information, and in fact, I resigned from there, Minister of Information and Tourism. Nikasema mzee Moi alisema huyu Kalonzo aliwacha bendera barabarani, because we needed that change. And then we have short-changed Kenyans. The change they have always sought has not come. But trust me, the time for real, formidable, tangible change is coming. If only Kenyans are not hoodwinked to go into the deeper abyss. Tuko pamoja? Are you through? Aniambia saa imeisha. Huyo ni timekeeper wa KTN. Nawashukuruni sana. And of course I'll come back and still talk more. But I wanted you to know you can work anywhere in the world. Young Kenyans, under OCA, you go anywhere in the world. We'll make it possible. Bilateral labor agreements, as long as they don't get abused, like in the Arab world, go out here. Did you know that a country called Philippines has more in terms of money from Filipinos abroad than whatever they grow locally? Our strength is our manpower. The moment we make Mombasa a free port, the moment we get Nairobi International Airport, Jomo Kenyatta Airport to be world class, and therefore bring connectivity to Nairobi. What Dubai is, Mombasa can become, even the port of Lamu. We will generate so many jobs. We are not dreamers. We know it. We have traveled the world. We can feel it. It's in our hands. It's in our system. And we are really raring to go. Only that, of course, as Mzee Kibaki is number 2, I did my best to grow the economy. And, of course, Grand Coalition, this country also has to accept the reality of coalition governments. I hate nobody in political leadership, but I hate what some of them are doing for the sake of this nation. Asanteni, Wiper. Kazi, kazi, bila wizi. That one is a theme. It runs, but as I said again, we will have a desk on the 25th of this month for university students. Because, and the young Wiper Democrats. You saw what the ladies from Central Kenya did. You know, people are thinking about climbing Mount Kenya, whatever, through the wheelbarrow or climbing, I don't know, through which route. Some wonder whether wheelbarrow can really go up to Lenana Peak. Others one, Baba anajaribu, anajaribu, sema Baba dio, wengine anajaribu. But the owners of the mountain came, the mothers of Mount Kenya. The fathers are going to come. And the youth. We don't need to climb the mountain. They realize, oh, Kalonzo is actually part of the mountain. Wherever you are, you can climb that mountain and conquer it for the sake of your country. Asante.
Before you leave, kindly.
As our leaders join us, Akina Evandas, come to the front. We would like to introduce you to
Mabuza.
One Kenya.
One Kenya.
Ndovuniku.
Ndovuniku. One Kenya?
There is a One Kenya anthem that we'd like to...
Okay, I wanted to learn a bit of Sheng.
Yes, so all of us, please stand. Let's join Mhesh.
We are going to sing the One Kenya Alliance anthem. We won't have everyone, but I think we can accommodate.
Sawa, DJ, when you're ready.
Nyumbani kwetu kijijini mashinani, mabonde ni milimani mashambani, angani nchi kavu na bahari twaangazia amani. Tunawatunza vyema ndege za angani, wanyama wa porini na wa jangwani. Hakika tunasambaza upendo hadi kwa majirani.
Let's be upstanding. Let's be upstanding kindly.
One people, we are one Kenya. One people, we are one Kenya. One people, we are one Kenya. One people, one Kenya. One Kenya. One people, one Kenya.
Kofia ya Wiper.
Kofia ya Wiper, guys.
One Kenya.
Hey.
One people. Undugu na umoja kufurahi, ugomvi na kuzozana haifai. Ni kumbukumbu la mashujaa, mbali tumetoka. Ongera sana Kalonzo Musyoka, pamoja na Musalia Mudavadi, naendeleza umoja pamoja na Gideon Moi. We are one Kenya, one people. We are one Kenya, one people. We are one Kenya, one people. We are one Kenya, one people, one Kenya. One Kenya, one people. One Kenya, one people.
Haya, makofi ya Mhesh.
Makofi ya Mhesh.
Wewe.
Thank you very much.
We are
Okay.
going to have selfies
Let's remain.
afterwards. Wahesh, tafadhali.
So
Please.
guys, remember the hashtag for the day is Comrades na Kalonzo. Let's tweet.
Yes,
tweet.
please give a round of applause to our Mahesh. Have you just experienced the most amazing, passionate leader in your presence, guys? Imagine amekuja hapa akasema secondary itakuwa free.
Hey.
Amesema campus itakuwa free.
Hey.
Ma comrades, help ilikuwa. Mmesikia stories za help hapo? Amuongei na mlikatwa. Amuongei na mlikatwa na kuna delay. So we are very grateful to be here. Thank you so much for the short presentation he's given us. Truly, he's very passionate about the youth. Ama nina chocha? Ay, ma comrades ninja ama nini?
Hey.
Nice, Quavo.
I have information from the kitchen.
So we are going to be fast because the remaining session is ours to present our agendas. And before that, I'd like Senator Kitui in our presence tuko na waheshimiwa, the outgoing and probably incoming Senator Kitui Enoch Wambua.
Wapi makofi ya Wambua?
Yes, please, unaweza simama uambie salimie comrades wa kuone wenye wanatafuta job, mnajua. All right. Yeah, let him say just a minute.
Let's clap from where she comes.
So, comrades power. Comrades power. Mko salama? Mko gangari? Mko chonjo? Salama. So very briefly, my name is Enoch Wambua, Senator Kitui County. A few years ago, I was a student, but particularly I don't see my university here. I don't know whether they closed or what happened. I went to Moi University. But I also went here to the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Kuna Moi hapa? Ako wapi hawa? Wapi nuru yake basi? Asante. So very briefly, just two things. One, take charge of your own future, your own destiny. That is very important. After all is said and done, don't allow anyone to profile you. Define yourself, pursue your dreams. Secondly, jiamini na ujitume. In this life, if you don't fight for what belongs to you, itaenda na mtu mwingine. Define yourself. Don't allow anyone to profile you. Jiamini na ujitume. God bless you.
Wapi makofi ya Mwesh?